Hello everybody, it is Marty McConnell, the off-grid gecko here, happening scratching at you from the woods. I'm in the woods, yes. That's where I am, inside my little house, my little cabin in the woods. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about bag rope. I don't know why people make this so complicated. And it's really more like bag cord. I don't know why people call it bag rope when most of them are making bag braids. And that just drives me insane. You have no idea. So this is my current bundle that I'm working on. I basically just took one of my little mallet thingies and started winding it around the skinny end. And then anytime I need a piece of rope, I just pull this bundle off and I can pluck out from the middle, take as much as I need, and then I cut it off. And then you get a trimmed off end. See if the camera will focus on that. Probably not. But you get a little trimmed off end, and then you put it back on the spool and keep on spooling her up. Sometimes I take it off and measure it. I think I've got about 40 feet here, 30 or 40 feet. And this is not something I do all the time. This is just a periodic thing. 9 times out of 10, I don't have to go to the store if I need a heavy duty piece of cordage. I just come here and pull something off this little guy, and we're ready to rock and roll. I don't have a trash guy come out here and haul my trash. I basically have to dispose of whatever I have in whatever means. So the cans, metal, stuff like that, I take it to work and toss it in the recycling bin that he has, because he sells that stuff by the truckload to the recycler. And I can't do anything on that scale, so it's really not worth my time to haul it to town. With plastic bags, these present an interesting problem because they pile up everywhere. Before you know it, a couple trips to the grocery store and you're pretty much covered in this crap. Just understand, this is the same exact method that's used to make any kind of cordage historically forever out of any kind of fiber. It's just your fiber that you're using is going to be plastic bags. Well, what you're doing is a double twist. So you're taking 2 strands basically of plastic bags and twisting them one direction, and then they twist over each other the other direction. And because of that, they create a sort of tension. It's the same thing that's used in most ropes, like manila rope. The tension that's holding the twist this way also holds them together and keeps them from unraveling, because they'd have to untwist in 2 directions and they don't have any room to do it. To start off a roll, in case you're wondering, you just take any old bag, and I normally pull these corner to corner. So I'll grab the bottom corner of the bag and I'll grab one of the handles, the opposite handle from the other side of the bag, and pull them into a big long fiber, and I totally just ripped that one in half. Let's try that again. So grab the bottom corner of one bag and the top handle of the other side, top handle, opposite handle, and pull them basically into a little fiber like this. And this is what I'm going to twist up, okay? I always start with the same end going in, and then I attach it to the same end coming out. So this is like a linked chain. Alright, now to get started with this, all you do is grab the bag anywhere about 1/3 of the way down and start to twist. And just twist it up, and before you know it, it's going to form a little loop. Like that. It's going to form a loop just from the twisting action. And all you're doing is basically continuing this loop. And as you continue to twist these, I'm twisting both of the strands to the right, and they are curling up a left-hand twist in the combination there. And that's how you start your rope. So it just makes a little loop like that, and you basically let that guy hang and dry, and then use the technique that I'm going to show you to continue on making your rope. So what we're going to do is, once you've got your little knot there on the end from the twisties, you just twist one end like this. I'm just twisting one of the fibers to the right, and then I reach around with my middle finger and I pinch the other end between my middle finger and my first finger and do a backwards twist. And then I'm on the little end here, so I'm going to twist that guy a couple times and do the same thing, reach around and pull them like this. And every time I do that, it puts the twisty side in front of my hand, and then I've got this other side pinched. And then with my other hand, I pinch wherever that last twist was to keep everything intact. Do a couple twists, and then twist backwards. This is by far the simplest method for doing this. You could take both ends when it's small and just keep twisting them like this and letting things turn up, but as this piece gets longer, that becomes really frustrating to do. So that's how you start your little cord. Now once you have some cord built up, I like to spool this out a little bit so I can set it on the table or whatever away from where I'm working. Then eventually you're going to get down to these ends. So you see this one's already got a little small end here. So in the case of starting off, you're going to have to do a connection with the small end. It's not really a big deal. But once you get going, if you have everything lined up, then it all goes the same way by the board. So I've got my little baggy bags here, and this one has been twisting for a while. So this is the handles sticking out there, and then I've got some more handles sticking out on this, but one's longer than the other, and that's kind of important because you want to keep twisting. Now you can sort of weave this through here if you want. I normally do just because I feel like it, but you don't really have to, you know, like wrap that around once and then pull it through this guy and do all kinds of weird stuff. But really the twisting action's what's going to hold it together. So when you combine two pieces at first, you're going to have to kind of hold them in place. So I'll twist that, and then you just got to make sure you get a real solid pinch while you're twisting them so that they don't unravel while you're splicing. And then once the splice is made, if you're doing it this way, you're going to end up with a little pigtail coming out, which I've already got, you know, a little one there. There's another little one that's going to come out, and you'll get these little pigtails sticking out. That's why you get the little spines coming out of a piece of manila rope when you look at it. But as I do this, these things get twisted up so tightly together that they won't come apart. And there's my pigtail that I was talking about. And I also like having the open end out. That way, as I'm doing this, air drains out of the bag going that way, and I don't have to worry about having a bubble in here somewhere that I have to pop. And then this is going to be another pigtail from the other end of the rope that we spliced to. And that means that we are effectively done. We have spliced to the ropes. And now you can just keep on twisting, and when you get good at this, you get to the point where you can figure out where to grab it to do one twist and one turn. One twist, one turn. One twist, one turn. So I'm twisting the fiber away from me and then pulling it back towards me, basically. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, and you get this nice even cord. So this doesn't look like a mangled up, braided together bag. It looks actually like a rope. Magic, huh? And you can do this with any strong fiber. So whether you're using fiberglass or roots or grass or certain plants are better than others, obviously. So everybody's favorite is stinging nettles for doing wild cordage to make rope, because stinging nettles are really strong. Now I've got my other end here. I should have a hole in it. There we go. So I can splice this. Now I'm going to show you the second splicing method. Move this out of the way so I can just kind of demonstrate. So this is what you're going with. This is not a knot in the most typical sense. I didn't tie these together. But what I did was actually rip the bags down the side to make them into one big loop, and then I put the two loops through each other, pull it tight, and then you get this guy. And this will basically reduce these little pigtails that are on this one from showing up, because now you've got essentially one long strand of fiber. Again, bottom of the bag to top of the bag, bottom of the bag to top of the bag. Keep going the same direction, that way you get a uniform kind of measurement. And you still got this stuff hanging out, but most of that's going to get tucked in from the twisting. Some of it will be out, but should end up looking a lot cleaner. So how do you do this? Take your little Walmart bag here, And next to each handle, there's a little seam that runs down the side of the bag, okay? And this can be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna try and show you as best as I can. But you basically pull the seam apart at the top, and then once you've done that, it should rip pretty evenly all the way down until you get to the bottom of the bag. It's just like ripping a t-shirt open underneath the sleeve, okay? Then go to the other side and do the same thing. So that one went a little off kilter. Just bring them back over, it's fine. Now you've got two really big handholds, and you just grab the two handles, and then you loop your thumb through the bottom of the bag on the other side, right there. Pull that guy tight. Now, to attach this to your rope, like this, we're going to use a method. And this is the first time I'm doing it on this rope, so it's probably going to come out a bit sloppy. But I think I can make it work. I actually think I can make this work quite well. So in order to attach this, you basically just run one loop through the loop that's dangling down from your rope. And again, I'm putting the bottom of the bag in first just to follow my pattern. And then you take all this tail material and run it back through that loop. So you basically make a big loop on top of it. Put it through there, cinch that guy up. And this one's going to be ugly because it's the first one. And then when you get to the end next time, you'll have these nice loops that are right next to each other, and it's really easy to attach another bag at that point. And I've got a twofer over here that's already put together that I just showed you when I was experimenting with this technique for combining the bags. So I'm going to go ahead and run that through my little loop here on the other side. I'm doing the wrong end. Run that through that little loop at the bottom of the bag, and I'm going to pull two of them through. So if you want to do them two bags at a time, you can prepare these strands ahead of time, 2 or 3 long, or however long you can handle without it becoming a major issue. Just pull that nice and snug, get it together, and then you're good to keep on twisting. And I'm going to have a little skinny part here because of this guy, but you know, that's about to hit a knot, so that'll fatten it back up. And it's basically the whole process. It's the same rope making process that's been used for millennia. It's not terribly complicated. If you want to make a skinnier string, you can do something similar by cutting strips out of the bags first. But I find that just using the whole bag makes this quick and efficient enough that you can actually get something worthwhile out of it in a short amount of time. Okay, so the smaller the rope that you try to make, you can even see that right here. These are smaller twists, so they take longer to manufacture than bigger twists. And these are the ones that I started on, so I've already made a foot of rope just sitting here with this. It takes roughly 2 bags to make 1 foot of rope using this method, and it's fairly strong, durable rope no matter which method you use. The more traditional method or the plastic bag method, which you can use these plastic bags because that's the way that plastic bags are made, so it's kind of a shortcut to combining your twines together. And then this, from this point on, I should have little lumps like this instead of the little pigtail hanging on, so that's always good. Put this back off to the side for a minute. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and attach another bag to it, so I'll show you one more time. Take our little bag. We're going to go find our little spot and pull them down the seam as best you can. You come off the seam sometimes, but it's okay. Go over to the other handhold, find the little seam, pull them off. And of course, whether you use the bottom of the bag or the top of the bag to start your rope, that's just something I do to keep things consistent. I always go, the bottom of the bag goes into the handle of the previous bag, but it really doesn't matter, especially with this second technique. In the original technique, I like doing it that way because then you've got two little flappies here and you can like twist everything together and it just twists up really nicely. Don't expect perfect results and you should be fine. You see how nice that made a real little knot. It's not hardly going to be noticeable and you've got strength all the way through here. Whereas my previous method, there are breaks in it, but those are not the weak point because this twisting action binds everything together so tightly. It's kind of like wood glue, you know. The glue in this case is the twisting that holds them together, and it's stronger than the actual fiber itself. So it's what makes rope so strong. That's why ropes are always twisted like this. You're getting more material into a smaller area and makes the whole thing stronger than the whole. So those little breaks in there don't cause any kind of weakness. So one last thing before I turn you loose is you're gonna get, this stuff's gonna twist up on you. So as this is laying here, usually before I spool more of it up, I like to kind of untwist it like that, just so I get a clean, even spooling. If you wanted to get really crazy and you wanted something super strong, you could take these ropes as they are, these cords, and you can use the same theory behind this to actually twist two of these together and make a rope that's doubly strong, or twist those together to make a rope that's 8 times as strong. So no matter how strong you need the rope, it all starts right here. One of the reasons I switched to this alternate bag method where I rip the bags, it gives a cleaner appearance, a more uniform appearance in my limited testing that I've done so far. And this is something that I can replicate if I ever make a machine to make my rope. So if that day comes, I may be looking for plastic bags and I may become a recycling center for clean Walmart bags. I don't see that happening in the near future, but you know, boy can dream. And then I can make all the rope I want and maybe sell it as stuff. Once you have this, you can weave it, you can make baskets with it, you can use it for rope, anything that you could use any type of cordage for, this can be used for. So if you want to make a basket, you know, here's one that I made out of some vines. I think this is, these are honeysuckle, I believe. I just basically grabbed the honeysuckle vine and wove me a little basket with it. And I've got some more cedar fibers in there in case I want to make more stuff out of them. You can do the same thing with the bag ropes. You can make baskets, you can make boards, you can reinforce it with stuff, you can press it down with an iron if you are really skilled, and actually make like flat placeholders and things like that. Most YouTubers seem to want to get everything fitted into this nice, quick and easy package, and then you try it and you either totally fail or it's completely useless as anything other than a novelty. I don't want that on my channel, so trying to give you a little background. And this is a skill, this is also a survival skill, because in the woods, if you find any kind of loose fiber, you can take it and make it into something. So stay tuned, because I do stuff like that all the time, and I will show you more neat recycling tricks and more just neat homestead stuff that you learn when you're out here in the woods by yourself. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching so much. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, ask a question, whatever. I'll be here. I usually answer my comments unless somebody's being annoying. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.